Hi, and warm welcome to the MERU Open House event number 6. And this time we have the MERU construction update and interior design showcase. You will get an insight into what's been happening at MERU for the past few months. And you will also see a beautiful video presentation of the apartment interior design. Just a couple of things before we start. I'd like to say that if you have some questions during the webinar, please write them in the chat box. And if you don't know where it is, it's on the bottom in the middle. You will see a box. It's in the chat, and if you click there, a new window will open for you. So that's where you can type your questions. And for the start, we'll be also very happy if you write down where you're coming from. So write your country, please, in the chat box now. And so we will answer your questions in the Q&A session after the presentation. And the webinar will finish in about an hour. So, my name is Daria Orešković, and I will be facilitating this MERU Open House this evening. And I'm in charge of marketing and sales and customer care for the MERU Apartments project. And now I'd like to welcome Raj Andreas, the chairman of the MERU Apartments project, and also a great driving force behind all the big things that are happening at MERU now. So Raj Andreas, please go ahead.
Thank you, Daria. And a big thank you to you for organizing these open houses in such a wonderful way. I can see we have almost 80 participants on from all over the world, and everybody's here for different reasons. I'd just like to speak for a few minutes on behalf of myself and Raj Alberto, who is the Raja of MERU Construction and New Buildings. We're very excited about our open houses. In fact, we started open house before we even started construction. It was, can we convince people on paper that it's a great place to be? And we've been very successful in doing that. And now we've actually started. And today we're going to hear all about our progress from our wonderful team. And I'd just like to say that from my background is hospitality, development, and I was invited to work on this project. And for me, it's a combination of people and place. And in hospitality, one of our guiding lights, Mr. Hilton himself said, it's all about location, location, location. And then years later, I found out through feng shui, which is actually an arm of Vastu, but in the Chinese tradition, that location is one thing, but people is just as important, having the right people around you. And feng shui actually means the harmony between people and place. And that was my learning 30 years ago. And as I have been evolving myself and working with the movement and understanding Vastu as an architect and learning from the Rajas of MERU and Aikiji, then I began to realize that this is a relationship of place, people, and the cosmos, the entire cosmos. So I can actually say hand on heart that there is no better place on earth to be if you're thinking about location, the relationship of location with people, what happens at MERU, and also how that fits in with why Maharishi chose this amazing forest, which has so much to offer. And so far, all those people that have joined us, and we've sold well over 50% of the apartment building, and there's more to talk about here. But it's been a combination of calling, a combination of wanting to invest, be a friend of MERU, because there are so many things happening. So there's a wide range of why. And I think this is what I'd like to ask you all to hold in your minds as we go through today and see the next iteration of where we're at. Why MERU for you? What does it mean for you? And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A. But I'd like to start off by introducing Casper, who's the CEO of MERU. And for me, it's all about working with this wonderful team that you're going to be meeting today. It's just a joy to be working with Casper and see how the next generation is flourishing through to make MERU the place to be. And Casper takes on so much, but he has the capacity and he has the expertise now and a great team around him to deliver on this wonderful project, phase 1, as we call it. So with no further ado, and I'll come back at the end as well and share more, I'd like to introduce Casper, CEO of MERU, to share where we are with the construction phase and more at MERU. Over to you, Casper.
Thank you, Andreas. It's a pleasure to give an update at this great time where we've really started construction, and we're going to be showing you what's actually happening there now. But before we do, I just wanted to speak a little bit to you all about who's actually with us here to make this happen. We're going to have a great MERU team, which you'll meet essentially today. But there's also, of course, outside professionals that are helping us. We work with a Belgian builder. It's the biggest family-owned contractor in Belgium. And here you see the building site from these offices. They're working every day to realize these buildings for us. Once a week, we're in these offices together with another important partner as a team of architects and project managers. And those three elements of the team, the MERU side, the builder, and the architecture team, really bring this project together, and they're going to make sure that we are going to bring a beautiful Vastu south side of the MERU campus, as we like to call it, to fruition. On the right there, you see two most important members of the MERU team. You see Roxana, who you're going to hear from in a little bit, but there's also Pete. Pete has been the property manager for many years here at MERU, and he's actually been at MERU for more than 20 years, dealing with the day-to-day maintenance of the buildings. And he's taken off 50% of his day-to-day work on the general campus and fully focused it on being on the building site, meeting the builders, seeing the work being done as it's being done. Together with Roxana, I'd like to introduce next, and who you're going to hear from, more details. Roxana is our Vastu architect. She is there next to Pete on the building site, making sure that not only what we get is practical, but that it's also according to these special rules of Vastu. Roxana is a dear friend and a great teammate, and I look forward to now hearing from her. So please, Roxana, tell us what's going on.
Thank you, Cass. Nice introduction. So what I want to talk about, first of all, hello, everyone. Nice to see you in such a large number. And I want to share with you what happened until the present day. As Raja Andreas said, the progress on our construction site. And I will start with the beginning. End of September, our current company that will do the building of the 3 buildings that are contracted took over the land that was previously systematized by another company. They did the infrastructure and they leveled the ground so that they are more stable for the further foundation works. And in this image, you can see actually there are some traces where the buildings will be starting to appear. And in the next slide, I want to show a very spectacular phase in our construction progress. It was the raising and montage of the cranes. They're very, very high, spectacular cranes. They're being used every day, and the highest of them has 39 meters. This shows us the size of this investment, and we're very proud. It was a really interesting event in campus when they were assembled. And on the next slide, you will see some of the works that were done before pouring the concrete on the site. First, our builders had to dig the trenches where afterwards the workers would put rebars. We will see in the next slide. Here you can see workers putting in the rebars. And after this, the concrete was poured. What I want to mention is that each building had a slightly different schedule because they were not built at the same time. First, they started with one, and then consecutively the next one, and so on. And you can see in the image in the left, the middle biggest footprint is from residence building, which is the building that is destined for staff living and for other functions that are connected with people that work permanently on campus. On the left is the footprint of apartment building, which is the building we want to talk about in this presentation more. And on the right side, there's the smaller footprint of our operations building, which is a building that hosts on the ground floor the workshops, and on the upper floors the offices for the operations team. On the right side, you can see apartment building footprint with all the footings already poured. And after this was the next phase that is visible in the next slides, where you can see the vertical part of the foundations being built. And in the left image, you can see how already, this is an image taken last week. And you can see in the middle residence building, it's already filled in between the walls, they're finished. These are concrete blocks that are built on top of each other. And on the left, in the left image, you can also see they already started to build apartment building concrete blocks. After this, they will fill in also with sand, and they will start building operations building. At this stage, you can see in the next slide, we are having this situation, and you can also see some wooden poles on the construction footprint. These are actually poles that are done by the surveyors to make sure that every single wall is correctly placed. And I already measured on each of these steps the correctness of the Vastu implementation. And I started, first of all, by making sure that all the buildings are properly oriented towards east, which is one of the most important features in Vastu building. And in this case, I had to correct outside measurements and inside measurements so that they fit into the designs we got from the structural engineers. And it seems that it's becoming more physical, and it's clearer now that our buildings are manifesting. And I'm happy to share this with you today. Yeah, in the next slide, it's actually how we envision these buildings to be in the future. Apartment building is on the left. In the middle, you can see residence building, the one that started first, and on the right, operations building. Anything else to add here, Caspar?
No, I don't have anything to add. The progress is real, and what makes me very comfortable in my chair as CEO is to have people like Roxana and Pete on the ground, making sure. And so I'm grateful to them. And we have a good builder and we have a good team of architects. So we go on.
Yeah, I guess the key is a very good team, and I'm proud to be part of it. And speaking about team, I guess our next member is Margherita. Daria, would you present her or shall I present her?
Yeah, you go ahead, Roxana.
So Margherita is very, very dear to my heart, and I respect her experience and her gifted talent a lot. And she's gonna take over now, presenting for us the beautiful part of our building.
Thank you, Roxana. I am very happy. So I greet everybody tonight. We are already 81. And it is so nice that we see matter coming, manifesting. And everybody also that is on this call and that has already booked an apartment. Oh, I hear voices.
Yeah. Ghislaine, George, please mute.
Hello? Yeah, I was saying that watching this picture, I mean, I am here in MERU and I'm saying it in real life, but to see how Roxana summarized everything and to see this matter coming out of the ground, everybody that has already booked an apartment, signed for it, should really feel enormously proud because it is thanks to them. It is their souls that are materializing, everybody, but especially their souls. They are the fathers and mothers of this project, and I feel it really lively. So I would like to show you a nice video that we have been working on to give a more real next step of what will happen. And I think Roxana is going to play it. So first.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, if you can do full screen. Before you, if you can enlarge to a full screen. So Roxana, you can close. So I hope you all enjoy the video. It gives this presentation with the idea of the 200% of life. So we have the beauty, the environment, the worldly attractions, and we have also this amazing opportunity to have Maharishi's house, the Pandit, going inside, meditating with friends. So this is what we really want to achieve, and what whoever will come to live in Meru will really experience. And because we have some apartments that are left, and we want to present a very small apartment, the smallest unit we have, that is 35 square meters. Maybe Daria can know in feet. I don't remember the conversion about it.
I think it's more or less 350 square meters, 330
feet, square feet.
Feet, yeah.
So this is the smallest, what we call studio. And we wanted to, because of course this has advantages in price, but one shouldn't think that it is really small, because there is a lot of possibility. And now we are showing the plan with what, when you buy the apartment, this is what you are buying. There is bathroom, there is a kitchen, and the apartment is empty with this division. And then together we can plan, and we can do upgrades and see how to utilize the space in the best way. And so I took this apartment for an example. And if Daria showed the next slide, so we see how the spaces are divided with a living room, eating space, and a sleeping space. So even in these 35 square meters, we have division in space. We have privacy. So even for two people is good. I applied here some ideas that maybe Daria can go to the next slide. So this is the entrance of the apartment when it's empty. You see this, there are the connection where the washing machine, eventually the dryer. So everything is basic. And then we go to the next slide, where we show already some key points. One is, of course, we need a lot of space to put everything from cooking to washing to our clothes. And as you see, I raised the floor of the bedroom area because we have a height that allows it. And in this way, we have also used for the space under the bed areas, and we will see it better. So you can go ahead. So in this case, I have used the pocket doors to hide the kitchen in case our kitchens are really beautiful. But in case one wants really to separate and close the spaces and not have the feeling that one is cooking or just, leave pots and everything and then close the big pocket doors, this is a very nice solution to hide the kitchen. So next. These are the bathrooms with upgraded vanities. I used wood, and what it belongs anyway to our to the bathroom that one has are beautiful porcelain tiles with a couple of colors possible, different for marble, and that will be also on the floor, matte, so anti-slippery. We get very nice sanitaries, and I wanted to show it's possible to have a niche, it's possible to have, you know, some details to make even a very small bathroom precious. So next slide. Here is our living area, like empty. And then we go to the decorated version that is implementing the closets, a desk area, and a living, and also a foldable table that allows to eat 2-3 people together, but in other time can be folded and put down. So let's see, because we see also this other version. This is the other view, looking at the bedroom area that has this big opening to get the light and to get the air, the connection to the main. And then next, we see how it can be when it's decorated. And you see that there is a shelf and there are drawers. So these drawers can go very deep under the bed so that we can take them out and push suitcases or use them to put suitcases in, or to put winter clothes, summer clothes, or also if we are getting this apartment as an investment and we are not using it all the time, we can use those spaces to free the cabinets in order to rent it out while we are not using it, and so have our investment work and get some money for it. Then next is from the bedroom. This is the basic version, and that is an interpretation, of course, but is the feeling how you can dress up your sleeping area, and with this raised floor, the connection and at the same time the separation, I think is really came out well. So we can go to the next. So this is also to show that the step that goes up to the platform where the bed is can be also used as a container space. It can also go deeper under the floor, can be taken out and have access from there. Next. So this, I think, is not the next. It's the same. Yeah. No, you were right, Daria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I used every little space I could, so to put some foldable chairs when we have friends that visit, then this is, it's a hidden space that we can use for the purpose. Next. So this is the orthogonal view of our space for cabinetry. And you will see that actually we have a very good space. So this is how it would look when it's all open up. You see washing, dryer, ironing board, hanging coats, everything. So even in these 35 square meters or 300, what do you say, 300 and something square feet.
377, says Rajandres.
Okay, great. We are really able to live alone, or maybe as a couple if it's not a permanent home. And it's an ideal space also to rent. So I hope that this will encourage people to do a small investment for a really great apartment. And our Daria will tell us more about this apartment that is still to sell, and there are others similar that are also free for sale. So Daria, please go ahead.
Thank you, Margherita. Wow, I think we're all impressed by what you just showed to us. It's amazing, and you are genius. I think especially, generally for the interior design, and you've got a really lovely taste. But especially for small spaces, you're the pro, thinking of how to put everything so wisely and so practically.
Thank you.
Yes, so there are actually 5 such apartments still available in the building. So yeah, 5 are the one-room apartments, which you've seen just now, similar to this one that Margherita shown. And then we have 2 two-room apartments, which are double the size. So they're about 70 square meters, which is about 720 or 30 square feet. And there's one last 3-room apartment, which is triple the size of what you've seen. So it's just slightly over 100 square meters, 110, with a big terrace. It's very nice. And so that would be about 1,200 square feet, something like that. And, you know, as you can imagine, there's something for every taste. And there are different room arrangements which are offered because some apartments are facing east, some are facing west. So all these different arrangements are possible. And as you see now in the pictures, we have 12 lovely people here, all acquirers of the apartments. And some of them invested in even 2 or 3 apartments, which, as Margherita said, some people are gonna invest into the apartment and then rent it out to other people. They may use it for themselves for a while, and when they're not there, they can rent it out to others. But some are like purely using it as an investment to rent out full time. Yeah, so now we have, from 29 apartments, we only have 8 apartments left. And as you see, you know, the construction has started. We expect that this 8 will go pretty soon. So if you'd like to secure yours, then reach out to us before the final units are gone. And it's a good opportunity now to discuss with Margherita about more details if you'd like. We can arrange a meeting with her or with myself to talk more about the details, and we can give you a private presentation so you get more information. Oh, wow. So we'll see a nice video now of an acquirer couple, Nigel and Dory Khan. So they are sharing a little feedback on why they decided to acquire an apartment and why they're moving to MERU soon.
My name is Dory Khan. I'm from Holland, and that's one of the reasons why I'm very happy that I can have an apartment here.
My name is Nigel Khan. I'm from England. I'm a transcendental meditation teacher since 1974, and I'm very happy to come here to work at International, to be at International, to live at International. MERU because it's international. It's in the Netherlands, a beautiful country, and many people I know here.
And why MERU for me? Because it's a marvelous combination of being at International, within the movement, and yet in the Netherlands, where I've been wanting to move back to for a long time. It's the movement, it's the coherence, and it's Holland, for me.
Maharishi lived here for so many years, so that spirit is still here, and we can enjoy some of that. I think the fact that so many projects are going on here, it's in beautiful scenery, it's in the Netherlands, and many of our friends from long ago are here.
I can't say I've always wanted it, because we never knew it was possible. But now that it is possible, it seems a brilliant opportunity to try it.
We have limited apartments available. Please contact us to live at MERU in the Netherlands.
Nice. It's great to see Nigel and Dorian. I think they're also here with us tonight, so thanks for coming over. We'll now take a chance to answer your questions. So if you have any questions about the apartments, about MERU, life at MERU, about the construction, the timeline, anything that you want to ask, now it's your opportunity. So you can start writing in the chat box. And I will start reading the questions. So just a while ago, someone asked if the webinar is going to be recorded and if the recording is going to be available. So yes, it's going to be available. And if you've missed anything, you can watch it again, or you can also share with your friends that haven't been able to come. Then question for Margherita: what is the choice of interior color?
So we have set standards, and this means, of course, a color for we have wood floors, and we have light color for the walls, and we have a couple of choices, 2-3 choices for the tiles for the bathrooms, and a couple of choices for the wood on the floor. So that we consider standards. We will have also, of course, a couple of colors for the kitchens that one can choose. And this is all included in the price. And we keep it light, we keep it simple, neutral, so to say. When somebody acquires the apartments, then if there are special requirements, wants to have another wood, wants to have completely different kind of tiles, whatever, it is possible. So what we will do is just to tell what would be the difference in price due to the change. And of course, the sooner that one has the apartment, signed for the apartment, and the best and the least expensive is to do changes. Because of course, if the apartment has already been built and has already the floor, to change the floor, the color, that would be the most expensive thing. But in the phase of building, there will be a time limit, and we can choose. Otherwise, we do neutral, enlivening colors that we see as Sattvic, and that can be the base for the use of all the other colors that you would like to use.
Thank you, Margherita. Maybe this one is also for you, if there are different prices depending on the level of how much apartment is equipped.
Well, the cost of the apartment is one. So one buys the apartment as we have seen in the picture where it is empty. So that is what you buy. When you would like to have cabinets, you would like to, in the studio apartment, raise the floor, lower a wall, put a wall. This all, it's part of private communication with me and with Roxana, so that we can give you the price and telling you what the change would cost. So there is all the possibility, I mean, not infinite, but every apartment has very many. We would really take care for you that are living maybe far away, that you get exactly what you wanted, and we send you samples, and we receive in MERU. And we are putting now all the materials here on campus, so that if any moment somebody comes and want to see live, it's also possible.
Very good. And
can I just, Margherita, you answered that very well. Because it would have been another question for me, but I'm reading that question as, is there a different price depending on which level, i.e. whether you're on the first, second or third? And if that's the question, then I would say consider it like a diamond. Every side, whether it's the back, front, side, first floor, top floor, the prices are set and are the same per square meter or per square foot. So I think that's what the question may have been too.
Oh, thank you for covering that as well. It's great that you thought about it too. And I think you can also answer this one for us. So when can people see it live? Maybe not fully constructed, but...
Then this is for Caspar.
No, I thought for Raj Andreas.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Well, that I will cover off a little bit more at the end when we say what the next steps. But I would say now that we're going to have our next open house, which is, we love our virtual ones, but we like our in situ being present open house. So we'll see. I'd say, looking at what we're hearing from Roxana and Caspar, you've seen we're already above ground. So by the spring of next year, we should be at a stage where you can really see the building in its structure, in its form. But completed, we're saying Q1 of 2025, so the spring of 2025. By then, so it could be a bit earlier, but they'll be fully completed.
Thank you. Yeah, you've covered the next question, so that's great. The next question is, once the 8 units that remain now are sold, is there a possibility of building additional units? Roxana, would you like to cover this one?
Can you explain again? Can you tell me again the question?
If once the 8 units are sold, is there a possibility of adding or building additional units?
Well, as I understand, this question asks if we can extend our building. And the building is set, it's got a permit, so I would say the building stays as it was designed. But there's other phases of building in the campus, because there's big plans, and MERU wants to open itself towards more people, and using also the activity, not just the silence. So maybe in the future we can find other options to get residential units.
In essence, Roxana, the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
You will not, in this particular building, no. There are other options, and we have the residence building, which has some options, and we can, whoever would like to explore that too, we can discuss offline. But in this particular building, no.
Yeah, thank you. Did you maybe want to mention, because what came to my mind was also the wellness building. Did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, we have many thoughts and ideas about MERU, and all this is coming from Maharaja and his aspirations for MERU. And so it's one of the most ambitious projects beyond this phase 1, which we're working on, and that's we've got the apartment building, the residence and operations buildings, which are the core structures now. We also have flying rooms, dining areas, and more to come. But the ambitious projects are the tower of the municipality, which is what Maharishi wanted us to put up as quickly as possible. And we also have Maharaja's request, and that is the building which is directly on the other side of the tower in the master plan to Maharishi's house, is going to be a wellness retreat. It will be a world-class wellness retreat with 50 world-class rooms and all the facilities that you can imagine for well-being. And that's a 5-year project from start to finish. And there'll be opportunity there as well to invest, participate, and have, for those who don't want to live at MERU full time, to say, well, I want to stay there for 30 days at a time and buy membership and so on. So we are constantly thinking how to improve. And this is only possible because we've started phase 1 and we have friends of MERU who have come in as investors and want to encourage MERU to go to its next stage of evolution. And it's an exciting time.
Thank you so much. It's so inspiring. We're looking forward to seeing also more about what's coming up, the tower and the wellness Maharaja's Peace Palace. Next, do the apartments have private outside space or balcony? Yeah, some of them do. You may have seen in the video that Margherita shown, there was a nice terrace. It's quite a wide terrace, so you can use the space very well. And some of the apartments don't have the balcony. So these are for some maybe more affordable because of course for the balcony there's also a price to pay, and there's a question about prices following. I just wanted to briefly share this screen. Here you can see the price range for the apartments that are still available. So for example, a 1-room apartment between 26 to 35 square meters, and some have, as I said, terrace of 9 square meters, some are without the terrace. And here are sizes in feet, so between 280 to 380 square feet, terrace between 0 and 100 square feet. The price is 230 to 300,000 euros. And 2-room apartments, yeah, as I said, the sizes are here. It's about 500,000 to 600,000, and the biggest one is around 900,000 euros. There was also a question about renting out the apartment. Now, so you are the one to choose if you would like to rent out the apartment to someone else. It needs to be a meditator approved by MERU. And of course, it may depend how long they would like to stay. You know, if someone comes for a couple of days, for a week, you would probably want to charge more than to someone who stays for a month, or maybe they rent for 5 years ahead. So these are all different possibilities, and you're the one who decides how much you're gonna charge for different situations. But just to give you an example, Boss Hotel, 3 minutes away, 3 minutes drive away from MERU. For a double room, you would pay 150 euros per night. So this can give you some kind of comparison, but it depends. In high season, it can be also much higher. Additional buildings in future we covered. Are these units being sold, or is it a long-term lease? Yeah, this is a 50-year long-term rent. So the apartments at MERU are quite similar to the Raja homes. which are not owned, but the Rajas can, they're exclusively using these houses, but in the end, the houses belong to MERU. So with apartments, it's similar. So you would get the exclusive right to use them for 50 years, and then the apartment gets back to MERU. Now there are different options if you would like to. For example, let's say in 5 years, you want to, sell that and buy something else. You can sell the remaining number of years to another meditator approved by MERU, and they can buy it from you. Raj Andreas, would you like to add anything?
I think you said it perfectly. That's the similarity. I think the use of words, because we're in Holland as opposed to in any other country here, is that we've scrutinized this very thoroughly with notaries, and this is what best works for everybody. And so the term lease means that if I wanted to sell a lease, well, you can actually, as Daria said, you can sell on a number of years. And so as from an investment point of view, not only can you get a rental return, and you can choose, as Daria said, whether it's during the peak periods or when you choose not to be there, or you can sell on at a later date, even for with a premium, to others who are going to be saying, I can't wait to get one of these because they're all gone. And so that's where the investment comes in. That it's not dissimilar to a lease in that way, from a investment point of view.
Thank you for clarifying that. And we have one question for Casper. What about the maintenance of the building? Is there someone on premise?
Yes, the campus has more than just a maintenance team. We also have a landscaping team, and we have a security team. So there's 24/7. There's somebody on the campus keeping an eye on things. And there's a maintenance department that takes care of the building, and there is a landscaping department that takes care of the natural terrain around the building.
Thank you, Casper. Maybe this one could also be for you about local taxes. Would you like to say something about that?
Yes, there are local taxes. Of course, when you get closer to acquiring an apartment, we're going to have to talk to a lot of details with Daria, etc. But in principle, the Netherlands has a tax for residing there, and that is a fixed rate. It depends a little bit on it's a scale, but it's pretty much set for the entire Netherlands.
Thank you, Casper. I'd like Raj Andreas to say a couple of final words about what's coming up.
Well, we felt that from a timing point of view, this open house before the end of year online would bring everybody up to date and give an opportunity for those who want to inquire more, acquire, to have the opportunity, as Daria said, to jump in now, because you only need to put down a deposit to acquire. So the longer you leave it, then that increases as the building is escalating in cost from the construction side. But it also means that you can work with Margherita to get your interior as you like it. And this is an opportunity to choose from this, as I call it a diamond, which facet you want to come in on. Before we go to India, you can see the slide on the left. MERU Development Corporation, which is the company that's building this, will be the corporate sponsor on the 10,000 course. We were very fortunate that some of our acquirers put some money in, and we are going to be a corporate sponsor there together with MAPI India and one other sponsor. So we will be blowing the horn, the trumpet, not just for the apartment building, but for all the projects that Maharaja would like us to speak about in the 10-minute window we have. And this is one of the banners we're going to have on the left, building the future of MERU. And this 10 minutes that we have will also be broadcast around the world. So it won't just be in the 10,000, but it'll be broadcast around the world, and we'll have giveaway bags with people there to come and inquire. So at that point, there will be another level of interest, another level of inquiry. So those people that are on this call now have the opportunity to jump in before that big horn is blown. And then after that, if there's anything left, and there might be, if there's anything left by then, we're going to continue with our open house in the spring of 2024, where we're inviting people to come live as well as Zoom, but live, where we will look at the progress and hope. And as I said earlier, we should be able to see a much bigger building, and won't be wind and watertight by then, but we should be able to see the full form of the buildings, meet, discuss, and be together and enjoy, as I say, break bread together. Now, I would like to leave everybody with this thought. And in over the years, when I've been in business and seen how the best projects have manifested, is that there's people say, well, you know, how am I going to do something? I really want it, but how am I going to do something? And I call that the tyranny of the how. The how is number two. The first question you need to be asking is why. If you get a big enough why, and I've interviewed all our acquirers, and as I said, it's either it was a calling, or you know they want their life has come to a place where they want to evolve to the next level. They want to invest there. Whatever it is, the why was strong enough. And then the how comes. It's I tongue in cheek, you'll beg, steal, and borrow, you'll find a way. And in terms of, I'm in London right now, and what Margherita showed us just now, beautiful work that she's done on those interiors. I can walk down the road, exactly the same size apartment, down the road, and it's £3.5 million, which is about 4 million euros for the same size apartment. And it's in the middle of a city where, you know, it takes hours to be stuck in traffic and all the rest. So it's all relative. And that's why I'm highlighting the why. And please feel free offline to ask us as many questions as you like about the investment side of things, because we're not saying it's completely immaterial and only has to be I'm only coming there for spiritual pursuit. That's the main reason. Spiritual pursuit. Why am I coming there? And at the same time, it's not sunk costs. You can get a return and also enjoy the benefits of the upside later, and say, I want to be involved in other projects. I don't think Diana's on this call, who's one of our acquirers, but she's also part of our team with regards to the residence building. So there's also, somebody asked a question, what if these run out? There are, again, it's only limited. There are a few spaces there as well in the residence building that you can ask questions about. So we want to open it up to everybody. And I want to leave you a pre end of year with just going to bed on the why. And I can also see that we have Prime Minister on the call. If he's still here, maybe is Prime Minister still here? No, I think he just left the call. All right, just want to say if there was any last word from anybody from our team, and please take all the questions and we'll answer them for everybody. But we're looking forward to whoever's coming to India and whoever's looking forward to, if you're on the fence, please come in spring as well to see us.
Thank you so much. It was great finishing I want to thank everyone for coming over, and it was such a nice gathering, so warm, and great questions from everyone, very intelligent and well thought. So looking forward to seeing you in India and at MERU in spring. Yeah, have a good night. From my side, I want to give opportunity also to other team members if they'd like to say something before we go.
I can say that I look forward to be working closely to each of the people that have acquired an apartment, but also with anybody that has questions, because I understand that may be difficult to imagine things, and I hope I can make it more easy explaining and showing pictures. Say good day.
Casper, anything from you?
No, I hope everyone has a nice evening and look forward to seeing most of you in India, I think. Maybe not everybody, but that'll be an amazing time. And then maybe in the spring, we'll meet each other here at MERU.
Thank you. We'll
Thank you, everyone.
Jai Gurudev.
Okay, Jai Gurudev. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.